Said you were diving for a couple balls in practice lately, making some big catches, and he kind of wishes you would stop.
Yeah. He told me to go ahead and just stop doing that. Make sure I stay healthy. It was just one of those things where you come out, new team, fall camp, you feel like you have to prove yourself. But I made a couple of those. And so now I'm just kind of relaxing, chilling.
Is it hard to cut back from doing that though as a football player? Just your natural instinct is to go get that ball no matter what, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I had to. I think one play, I could have got it. I had to come back. I was like, you see, I ain't do it this time. He was like, yeah, it was a good job. So I mean, it's naturally you tend to do it because see ball, get ball. But I've been controlling it pretty well.
What's it like following a Blitnikoff winner on the team this year?
It's a blessing in disguise. Pressure's a privilege. He's a great player, and I kind of watch some of his stuff too. And so, following that, I have a big role to play in all the receivers, but the receiver core itself been doing a good job. We've been putting in a lot of work, so we don't really expect a drop off.
A lot's been said about Jared Wayne and his leadership. Now that you've had a couple of weeks of summer camp with him, what has he taught you that's new?
Just like mentally, he's taught me a whole lot. Just taking care of your body, how you study film, and just the way he carries himself. He acts like a pro, definitely. So I mean, I've learned a lot from that and that older mentality. So.
Coach has talked about the strength training program and the recovery program as well. I'm sure it's different here than it was in Akron. I mean, what have you seen from that so far, and how have you benefited?
Oh yeah, it's definitely great. So I mean, it's a lot more. Tech that we use from compared to Akron, tracking your GPS and just like how much workload you got and like the type of stretches and stuff that we do towards those type of things.
What's it like playing for Coach Underwood?
Man, it's great. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. He's a player's coach. He teaches us a lot. He's been there. He's done it. So I mean, when he talks, we listen.
Coach Narduzzi also said that you guys are installing a lot on all sides of the ball, but on offense in particular, you got a new offensive coordinator and stuff like that. How's picking up the playbook coming along?
It's been pretty good because I mean I kind of come from a similar style back in my old school, but just different lingo. But picking it up has been pretty good. He's been installing it great. It's been easy for everyone to learn, even the young guys. So I mean it's been going well.
Coach said he felt that you guys were ahead of offensive installs. Would you agree with that?
Definitely, especially compared to spring, we've been putting in a lot more. So I mean, I'm excited.
How seriously did Pitt recruit you coming out of high school? And how much did you consider Pitt coming out of high school?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How seriously did Pitt recruit you coming out of high school? Did you consider coming here? They recruit you very heavily?
They did. Coach Collins, he recruited me coming out of high school, but he wanted me to play DB. And I kept it 100 with him. I was like, he told me if I wanted to go, I guess to a group of 5 to play receiver, and then they give me the offer at DB, where would I go? And I told him I was gonna play receiver, regardless, because that's where I put my craft in. That's where I worked at. So.
As a freshman All-American, you and Gavin both earned those honors last year. Do you see yourselves as two kind of the younger guys that could be, part of leading this team towards the future? I know there's a lot of old guys, 5-6-year seniors coming back that are leaders now, but do you think you'll be kind of the leaders of the future, you and Gavin maybe?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility, but I mean, I feel like as a young group, it's a lot more people that can definitely step up and take that role. Those type of things. I mean, they're stats and whatnot, but it don't really mean too much. Anybody can lead.
How important is it? I mean, I know you're trying to get open, but how important is it to have a veteran offensive line like they have with 5 guys coming back and a lot of guys that can push for time?
Man, it's really important because I mean, I've been at a program to where the O-line is not as great, and it makes a difference, especially from a quarterback standpoint, being comfortable delivering the ball and just giving us more time to get open and create space.
You're not the only new face in that receiver room. Bub Means transferred in as well this year, and then there's a lot of other transfers on the offense with Keaton and Sebo, and then Carter at tight end. You look at defense, Shane Simon. How much of an impact do you think these newcomers are going to have on these defending ACC champs to try to get them back there?
I think they're going to play a very big role. Bub brings in his own element. The new tight end, he brings in his own element, and everybody's looking good. They're picking up the offense fast. And actually, I used to train with Bub back in Atlanta, so I kind of knew him before then. But yeah, they're definitely gonna be special.
How good were you as a defensive back in high school?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm an athlete. I mean, I didn't want to play. I only played my senior year, and really, I didn't want to play in high school. But it was kind of one of those things they needed me to, and so I just did it, and kind of I did my best.
3 interceptions as a senior.
Tell us about working in with the specialists too. I noticed you starting to punt return a little bit too in some of these practices.
Yes, sir. They've been having us do some returning, just catching punts, kickoffs, stuff like that, different types of punts.
Is that something you've done in the past, being a punt returner?
I played punt return in high school and at Akron.
Any touchdowns in college or?
Nah, not in college, but I had a couple in high school.
3 as well.
You're-
Punt return TDs as a senior.
You're here because you wanted this to be on a bigger stage, right? Is that the main reason you transferred?
It's not really the main reason. They at Akron they got rid of all of our coaches. Really, I was gonna stay, but if I was gonna restart, I kind of wanted to restart at that bigger level because I mean, I always prayed for things like this when I was in high school or when I was younger to play on that big stage, and I feel like God was giving me that opportunity. When I hopped in the portal with these opportunities. So.
Speaking of the big stage, about 2 weeks away, I think exactly 2 weeks away from opening the season, at home in the backyard brawl in a national audience with College Game Day. I mean, does it feel like it's just around the corner now? It's starting to feel real?
A little bit. I mean, I haven't really thought too much about it. Like, I'm excited, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like we can go out there and handle business.
You gonna miss those midweek action games?
Am I? I don't know. They were fun. I would say they were definitely fun, but it kind of messes up the schedule. You waking up on a Monday, you traveling somewhere on Tuesday, class on Wednesday. So I mean, I'm kind of happy to be playing on Saturdays and then College Game Day at that. Man, that's a blessing.
Anything final?
It's expected to be a sold-out crowd. Have you ever played in front of a crowd that big?
At Ohio State, we played in front of 100, 2,000, and then Auburn they sold out because that was my first game coming out of high school. They sold out it was coming off COVID, and so it was a pretty big crowd.
What was your reaction like to seeing that kind of that environment?
It's nothing really it don't really affect you too much, especially when you're in the game. You kind of locked in.
Did you notice the difference between the Power 5 DBs and the DBs you saw in the MAC?
No, I would say that most Group of 5 to Power 5, I don't think it's much of a difference in just the skill group. Maybe more up front, but skill-wise, not too much. But this group here at Pitt is definitely special. It's deep.
Gives you the hardest time?
I don't know. They all legit. They all definitely legit.